Welcome to our August Hot Stock panel. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Always my pleasure to be here at these Hot Stock panels. Folks, these are very informative and they're a lot of fun, and I've got a good group of people here with me, of which I'll get to in a second. What is VectorVest? VectorVest is a stock analysis and portfolio management system. What we do is we give you some insight as to how to find some stocks to get into. We time the market, and by timing the market, we talk about staying on the right side of the trend of the market to keep our subscribers there so you're never blindsided about any activity in the market. We will help you to put together a trading plan of knowing when to buy, what to buy, and when to sell. Because folks, as investors in the market, those are the three most important things. You follow those guidelines, you will make money in the market. I never said that it was simple, but we can take a lot of the workload off of your shoulders to help you put in place a plan to help you to make money in the market. Coming back to me, once again, my name is Glenn Tompkins. I've been with VectorVest now for over 16 years. I've got my hands in a lot of different things within the education department. I'm the host of these panels. I also do a live YouTube stream every Thursday called Trending Thursday, where we look at stocks making the news and we analyze them with this powerful tool known as VectorVest. If you are not a subscriber to the software, Joey will put a link in the chat for you that you can take advantage of today. By the way, in the background is Joey. He is our producer. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
There you go. He's the guy that makes us all look good on the screen. Probably works a lot more for Steve and for Jim than for me. I don't require that much work. All right, so with that being said, our Hot Stock panel guests today will be Steve Chappell sitting to my left. He is the Director of Systems Trading Development.
Trading Systems Development.
All right, something like that. And Steve, huh?
You're getting closer.
I am getting closer. He does a lot of stuff in the background that you guys may not always see until it comes to fruition. But he's got a lot of great input. He's one of my mentors as well. In the background, we have Jim Pennock.
I'm in the background.
He's in the background. He is our manager of retirement services. So you're going to get a good mixture of ideas based on the things that we do. I also do Training Tuesdays, which walks you through how to effectively use the software in every tab in the software. I recently just did the special presentation. So we all work very hard for you guys to help you make money in the market. What we're going to do now is we're going to start to get into our stock picks. As we do that, as you look on our screen, you're going to see all of the stocks that we have for you. The theme this month is hot stocks to end the summer strong. So going into what all is going on in the world with the pandemic, you're looking for stocks that you can think about really sinking your teeth into. Do you like that, Steve?
Yeah.
Sink your teeth into, to hold on and to end the summer strong. And folks, I don't think that you will be disappointed by the plays that we have up there for you. And again, you're going to get a culmination of different types of investment styles. So no matter how you invest in the market, you're probably going to find a stock or two that fits you. So every month we have our top 10 stocks, or our stock picks for this month. Here they are. We're going to start off with my top 3 picks. I have 3 picks. Steve has 3 picks, and Jim has 4 picks to give you and round off all 10 stocks. So I'm going to highlight the stocks that I'm looking at. Looking at EQX, I'm looking at Novavax, and I'm also looking at iClean, or the Global Clean Energy. So my thinking this month for hot stocks to end the summer strong, I wanted to look at some of the industries that were really rocking and rolling. Everybody knows that gold is on the run, all right? Is it getting tired? Well, Steve and do you have a gold pick today? No, I'm the one. So I'll spend a little bit more time talking about where I see gold going right now. Keep in mind that the dollar going down is going to be a good catalyst to keep gold going higher. because it tends to be when the dollar goes down, people look for a safe haven, and gold is a place to go, and that's where a lot of people are going. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. I also looked at Novavax. Why? Well, we're in a pandemic. What's the headline news for a lot of what's going on during these times is what stock or what company is going to come up the first with a vaccine, and everybody's rushing to get to a vaccine. Operation Warp Speed is still in full effect, which is a government-sanctioned operation to fast-track vaccines to get to the forefront so that people can start taking them. So I haven't seen companies get to phase 3 training, phase 3 testing this quick ever. But a lot of that goes, again, with Operation Warp Speed. The government is way behind it. And another industry that I'm looking at is clean energy. If you've watched me on YouTube Live every Thursday, clean energy is an industry that's definitely rocking and rolling. I'm going to show you a little twist on how to get in that. Let's start with Equinox Gold. The price $12.27, value $25. As a gold company, it is undervalued, like that. I'm looking at the upside potential and relative value. The stock has got good upside potential as compared to a AAA corporate bond. This stock should outperform that AAA corporate bond by 76% over the next 1 to 3 years. But it does have a safety factor incorporated. Relative safety is below the value of 1. This is a little bit more of an aggressive play. Got good upside potential. The safety is not above 1, but that's okay from an aggressive standpoint. I want good upside potential, willing to take a little risk, and Equinox fits that mold. The stock is definitely in an uptrend. 1.68 on relative timing, this stock is rising. So those of you who are new, relative value looks at a stock's long-term upside potential. Relative safety is an indicator of risk, but it looks at the consistency and predictability of a company's financial performance. Companies that consistently meet or exceed their earnings expectations are very attractive to investors, thus driving the stock's price higher. But another key indicator is relative timing, the short-term price trend. The stock is above the value of 1. All of those indicators that I just talked about are cast on a scale between 0 and 2, where above 1 is favorable and below 1 is unfavorable. So relative timing tells me the stock is in an uptrend. The CI, or Comfort Index, tells me that this stock pretty much in layman's terms goes up more than it goes down. It's very resilient to pullbacks. The stock is number 2 as far as VST in the list, and I like that they grow their earnings at a clip of 48% in a year. Novavax, one of the few pharmaceuticals out there that are undervalued. Novavax is trading at $179 with a value of $233. Good upside potential with relative safety. Also incorporates a safety factor below 1. This is a little bit more of an aggressive play as well. Definitely in an uptrend with RT at 1.7, growing their earnings at a rate of 30% a year. Good CI, again, a stock that goes up more than it goes down. VectorVest analyzes stocks better than anybody out there to give you useful information instead of just blah, 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 blah data. You have to go get blah, 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 blah data and discern what to do with it. VectorVest gives you the useful information to help you to make the right decision. And my last one is an index, or an ETF, an exchange traded fund, to look at the whole clean energy industry. ICLN, because it is an ETF, price and value will remain the same, and RV and RS will also, it's tough to give a relative value and relative safety on an index or a group of stocks traded in ETF. But what's key here is that it is in an uptrend. Not as fast in an uptrend as Novavax and Equinox, but definitely in an uptrend. Buy-rated stocks. The CI not nearly as good as the other two, but this is a good way to look at the clean energy industry in one ticker symbol. All right, let's go look at the graphs. EQX, looking at a 3-month graph. So why do I look at a 3-month graph? I like a 3-month graph because the biggest mover of a stock's price is earnings. So when does earnings happen? Every quarter. I like to look at a 3-month graph to make sure that earnings is in the picture before I make a decision. I also have one here, a 20-day exponential moving average. All right, let me scroll down, make sure. That is where's my EMA? There it is. Yes, I have an EMA 20-day exponential moving average, which is serving as a beautiful line of support for the stock as it's been moving higher. Also have support and resistance. When the stock was above the moving average, breaking through resistance, tested it here and moved up higher. Then that moving average served as a beautiful level of support. Stock's price is moving higher. RT, the short-term price trend, still above the value of 1, might be pulling back a little bit. Now, could gold be getting tired? Well, I'm looking at the wicks on the candles of the stock. Couple of things here. The stock is still currently above the moving average. The stock is not trading that far away from the high, but if I'm in it, I leave it alone. If I'm not in it, I like that it's above the 20-day exponential moving average. If I want more confirmation, let's see if the stock can take out the most recent high sitting here at a price of $12.65. We're only about 30 cents away from that high right now. I'm looking at today's activity with a big wick at the top of the candle, a little bit of give back, but the candle is still higher than the previous day's close, thus giving us an open candle. So either way, if you're not in it now, you can jump on it. Looking at a 3-month graph from the bottom left to the top right, exactly what you want to see. Going into the summer, ending, to end out the summer. If you want more confirmation, we are trading. Today's activity was right at that level of the high. It pulled back. I would really like to see it break through. If you own it, if it breaks down below that 20-day exponential moving average, that might be a good opportunity to maybe take half off the table. Because I still think overall gold is going to go up, but we'll take a look. As long as the dollar is going down, there's a lot of stimulus out there as well. So there's a couple of turning cogs in the whole operation, but again, a good looking stock. So now I'm going to let my colleagues take a crack at it, and give you their perspectives on it, starting with Steve Chappell, the director of the Trading Systems Development.
Hey.
There we go. I got it right. I was going to get it right eventually.
Mark your calendar.
Mark your calendar. Wow. Glenn got it right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Simply amazing.
It's simply. Okay.
All right. No, cool. So I like the pick. Obviously, I have the same belief system. I think that gold inevitably goes higher here. I'll just give you a secondary alternative to buying the stock. I like the idea of buying the new high. I'll give you a whichever happens first scenario. So on the chart, if we can I'll have Glenn go back and find the last time price intersected that 20-period exponential moving average with a tall, unfilled green candle. That's the first one. Right there. There's one about another month prior to that.
This one?
Yep. And there's one about a week prior to that. If you find one of those first, I would buy not that day, but the following day on continuation. Even if it ends up being a red day, you're still doing it right. So I would not buy that particular candle, but the one that ensued, the one that followed, providing stock prices go higher. What I typically would do is put the buy stop order at the high for the day and just let the market do its job and get you filled. That's my 2 cents.
Okay. Jim?
Yeah, I agree. Anything gold related, I agree with the bullish sentiment on anything gold. I'll just change, I look at it a little differently. Glenn said maybe gold's getting tired. I don't believe that. I think it's just a quick pit stop. And I have no problem buying it right now. But on a down day, I know that's a little counterintuitive, but
might end up being the same price anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking,
as waiting for mine,
If your overall outlook and bias is bullish on gold right now, I almost look at it as a buying opportunity.
I concur.
Gold is down just a notch or two.
Nice job, Jim.
That was a nice job, Jim.
Thank you very much.
Nice job, Jim. Jim hasn't left the building. Jim hasn't left the building.
I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you.
My next stock, again, keep in mind that the focus this month is on stocks to end the summer strong, okay? Novavax. So I switched gears, and now I went to coronavirus. If you are a part of the VectorVest family, you know that we have a coronavirus watch list, which was created in Trending Thursday as a way, when the coronavirus first kicked off, as a way to help you start making money in the coronavirus world. Again, these are tidbits of information that you only get within VectorVest, especially if you're in the software. We've done a special presentation on it. And if you're in Trending Thursday, we've been rocking and rolling with that since early February, actually, folks. So in that list, here's Novavax. One of the stocks that are at the forefront of a vaccine. I love the idea that as a pharmaceutical company, that this stock is an undervalued stock, which is not always found in pharmaceuticals. They put a lot of money into a lot of product and a lot of testing, and many times those stocks are trading over their value. This stock's graph is nicely moving higher over the last 6 months. RT is above the value of 1, steady leveling out, telling you that the stock overall is in an uptrend. All right, not only that, they are growing their earnings, as I mentioned, in double-digit clips. The stock is resilient to pullbacks in this space. So if you are interested in a stock, in an industry that's rocking and rolling because of the fanfare behind a vaccine, this is definitely a stock to look at. Definitely strong going into the summer, end of the summer. Beautifully above the 20-day exponential moving average. If you feel that it's too far away and you want to tighten the stop, you can always tighten it down. Use the down arrows on the moving average. Just turn it down to 10. It's still serving as a beautiful level of support. And guess what? If you use that as a level to get out, it will help you to capture profits earlier. Because of what's going on with coronavirus stocks, I like this stock now as well. If you want more confirmation, it's recently pulling back from the high, which occurred here of 189.40. Right now, we're at 178.27. I think that it's, as long as it's above the 20-day moving average, RT is still above 1. And I can add something on here like volume. Let's go see what's going on with volume. Volume's pretty steady. Had a couple of trees along the way, but we're looking at, even on those trees, 20 million shares. Today, the stock is trading at 6,225,155 shares. That's a lot of shares. There's a lot of activity on the stock. Stock is nicely open today, very little wick at the top, but the stock is recently moving back up to the 3-month highs, which happened about 3 days ago. Stock is still trending higher, and I like that it's undervalued. I like the CI, and it's definitely that growth rate. That's interesting. The growth rate on that stock as a pharmaceutical is really good as a pharmaceutical company. So that's my second pick for strong stocks to end out the summer. Let's see what Steve has to say.
Well, clearly you should have bought that one in March.
Well, I should have. Yep. Way to be way to be an armchair quarterback, Steve. Way to go. Hindsight is 2020, isn't it?
Come on. Yeah, no. It really is another good pick. The one thing I would say about the COVID virus stocks is now's the time to start watching them very carefully, because inevitably we're going to have a winner.
Yep.
And the ones that do not win are going to probably shoot down in price pretty quickly. But they're sitting on a pile of cash. They had huge cash infusions from this whole deal. Mm-hmm. Maybe it'll be one of the more resilient ones if in fact they're not the one with the cure. Just know that, guys. We're getting into, when you start getting into now phase 3, I think the easy money is behind us, and it starts to get a little bit more difficult going forward. But I like the stock. I like the move. It is walking a very nice trend line. And this one, I think you can probably buy right now. What do you think, Jim?
I think it always makes me feel smarter when Steve says something that says it much clearer than I would say it, but that I was thinking. And I was looking at the graph, and I don't have a lot of specifics on Novavax, but that idea that Steve just shared had me thinking, as I'm looking at the graph, how might you trade this? And not to get into options or anything, but things like call spreads here,
Yes.
where you can leverage a little bit and have a lot less
And mitigate, yeah.
exposure to it on some of these front runners. But I agree with Steve. At some point, as Steve put it, there's going to be a winner. I'm not saying Novavax won't be. I don't know, of course.
Yeah.
But you got to use some caution.
They might be the winner.
Yeah.
Hold on. So with that, going to give you a couple other options. XBI,
There you go.
which is an index ETF of the whole industry. This is on the ETF sector, biotech. That might be a good way. And Steve, to go right along with what Steve said, even if Novavax is not the winner, somebody in this industry is going to be the winner, which will help to drive this industry higher. And I'm going to give you another one. So that's XBI. I'm going to get, I like that it's, let's go bring that back up to the 20.
See that little bit of Head and Shoulders brewing up there?
Oh, I can't see a Head and Shoulders. I have that issue. I can't see the Head and Shoulders. Let's
You
go.
said you need Head and Shoulders.
I don't. Wow! Did you say I needed Head and Shoulders?
I didn't say that.
Whoa! I'm gonna make this a little darker. Oh, that's on the wrong thing. Actually,
a little humor.
I hate you right now. EMA.
You're not going to like me very much because I think this is even more suspect or just as suspect because there's going to be 27 stocks that don't win.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So then I'm gonna go one more. There we go. I got LADU, which is another one. That's a 3-time leverage in that. So Steve may be right. I'm saying that as an alternative. Maybe that one stock that does make it might be enough to drive the industry higher.
It might.
But it may not be as well. So I'm going to take that under advisement from the standpoint of somebody's going to win. Do you pick?
I like your first pick.
I do too. But I am also giving you the opportunity to look at the ETF for the whole industry as well.
Yeah.
All right. And my last pick, because I love me some clean energy, baby. Woo-wee. Now, a lot of people still think that, this could be far off. Clean energy is running. I'm looking at companies like Canadian Solar, First Solar, Run. You look at these stocks, they're just slowly but surely, actually quickly and surely, they're running. They are running. I'm watching a lot of mergers and acquisitions of companies, and these companies are growing. The only way that they can grow is if they got the money to go out and buy, and they think that the industry is going to rock and roll. Absolutely. All right, so I'm with that. You ever heard of the phrase, birds of a feather flock together? Well, I'm looking at the industry, and the ticker symbol here is ICLM. It looks at the whole industry. Same kind of scenario with the biotech, that hopefully one of those will help to drive that industry higher if you don't want to invest in one stock. I think that going into the summer or closing out the summer, however you want to look at it, that industry is rocking and rolling. This is a good way to play the industry without a ton of exposure to risk, because you're not looking at an individual stock, you're looking at the whole industry. This is a 6-month graph. I'm looking at a 20-day exponential moving average. I loved when it broke through resistance, came down and tested its support. Put those two together, there came the culmination of a perfect storm. It broke back down to that level of support, but stayed above the 20-day exponential moving average. And look at the stock go. Today is now hitting a new 6-month high. RT is still above the value of 1, or even put it together. The stock's price going above the 20-day moving average along with RT, which again, you'll only find in VectorVest. That could have been a good opportunity to get in as well. I like this industry on YouTube on Thursdays. I've been talking about it. It's a rising industry, and I think it's a good stock to hold going into the summer. Steve?
Redemption.
Okay, I got redemption. Oh, on looking at this one as opposed to XBI. Okay, I got you.
Nothing but good news here. I love the pick. I think it's a very, very good pick. I think clean energy does run all the way into the election, most likely. I almost picked Clean Spark, which is a clean energy stock that just got a big deal in Costa Rica. I love this pick, and that's all I got to say.
There you go. Jim, you got nothing to say? Good. Okay, we'll keep moving on. Go ahead, Jim. By the way,
I was
Jim
gonna say
just
I
beat
like it, but now I think it's the dumbest.
Jim
No,
just Jim beat me in golf this weekend. By the way, he killed me terribly. So I'm going to put that out there.
I did do that.
Yeah, he did do that.
I also like I like the pick here as well. I mean, you have an industry that's on the rise. I mean, there's nothing on that chart or in the sector. I like, Glenn, that your 3 picks were all current events, taking advantage of the current landscape of what's going on. So you've got your COVID-19, you had your gold, and now you've got your clean energy. I think it's smart investing. I like
On
it.
point.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that, guys. I'm going to cry a little bit. I'm done. All right. So now we're going to move. Don't forget, if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Like what you're seeing today if you like what's going on so far. And don't forget to comment. Remember.